art.com. Today I am going to show you episode 1 of a 3-part series featuring this adorable stamp and thin cut set. This one is called Queen Bee and it is so cute. Now this was featured in our May and June catalog. It is now found in the online only section. So if you go to barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com, click in the search bar, Queen. Or if you want, you can type in Z3720 for the stamp and thin cut set, or C1838 for just the stamp set. You'll notice on the imagery here, the blue coloring behind some of the images. That means that there is a thin cut that coordinates with that particular shape. This is what the thin cuts look like. This all comes packaged together, and the thin cuts include a magnet sheet, which I love because then my thin cuts stay in place and they don't get lost on me. The first card we're going to make is this one. I thought this was so cute, and I have to give a shout out to Laura Bassen. If you have never seen her videos, check her out. She does the most incredible, vibrant, geometric type videos, and she did a stamp version using different colors. And I thought it was so cute, and I thought it would be fun, instead of trying to stamp, to use strips of paper, because we have so many beautiful colors of cardstock, and because our cardstock is two-toned, I was able to incorporate both sides of the paper. So let's get started. So I'll take my glue and I am going to run it across here in a sort of a straight line, and I am going to use my grid on my VersaMat to stretch the pieces across my little piece of white daisy cardstock. Doesn't matter where you start, just as long as you keep it square to the grid, and it should be fine. The first color I'm using is lemon. It's a nice, bright, cheery, sunshiny yellow color. The next color I have is canary. And canary has a little bit more of a golden hue to it. And I'm using the lighter back side of the cardstock first, because our cardstock is two-toned, and then the true color of canary on the front. And you can see this comes together rather quickly. The next color I have is saffron. And that is a little more golden. And then I'm going to make some noise here. I'm going to look at my inks. I think the next color I'm using is Nectarine, which is a little more of an orange color. And again, I will put the lighter tone down first and the darker tone to follow. And then this last color I'm using is more of an orange color. This is called Paprika. And this is a really pretty color. And you can see this one isn't exactly perfectly shaped. That's just fine. with my liquid glue, I can pick it up and move it around a little more. Now I've got all of those little pieces attached. Isn't that pretty? You can do this with any color combination. You can do it in rainbow colors, all greens, blues. I'd like to try it in some other colors. Flip it over, take my little non-stick scissors, and I am trimming off all the excess that hangs over the top. Now, isn't that fun? Now on top of this front panel, I am going to put a piece of vellum. This is our vellum, and all I did was cut it, it's 3 inches wide, and I think I started it by about 5 1/4. And I took my scissors and snipped it up the middle, and then snipped from the corner to the middle cut, and then flipped it over and snipped from the corner to the middle cut, and that's how I got the banner shape. I'm going to set that on top of there. We have a couple of little images. We have this one. It's like a little wreath, and this is the adorable little bee. Isn't that cute? Oh, so sweet. Now on this one here, I'm going to put my sentiment, "You make me smile." Sorry for the rustling. It just happens. We have one of our 2x2 blocks. You make me smile, and I am just using some black ink because I'm going to color. I find that this seems to work well with our tri-blend markers, and I'm just going to stamp this on there. That looks pretty good. You can read it. Works for me. And I'm going to take our tri-blend markers and do a little bit of coloring. The colors I'm using today are the Ice Gray Blend, Citrus Green Blend, Orange Blend, and Citrus Blend. And I love these tri-blend markers. They work really well for me. I am not a trained colorist, so anything that helps me to achieve some more professional looking coloring, I am all in for. And all I am doing is just putting a little bit of the darkest of the yellow color on the outside, and then I will jump to the lightest of the colors and do a little blending over the top. And I will try to leave just the tiniest bit of white toward the middle to act as a little highlight on my bumblebee tummy. And then I'm going to take the Ice Gray Blend, and I'm going to start with the lightest color and give a little bit of shading to the wings. Nothing fancy, just a little bit of color on there. And I think I've used this one a lot because I look, it's starting to dry out on me because I've used it so much. And then I'm going to take the mid color and just give a little bit of depth to where the wings would meet up with the body, because that's where your shadow would be, and that's where it would be the darkest. And then I'm going to go back over it with the light gray and just do a little bit of blending to blend that darker color in with the lighter color. It just smooths it out a little bit. And before I forget, we need to put a little yellow on the face. Look at that. And again, darkest color around the outside with just a hint of the lightest color here so that we have a little bit of a highlight on the face. Here I am going to color in the middle, and I am just going to throw a little gray in there. And I know, just sit and watch me color. Boring, but it's got to be done. How many of you enjoyed coloring as a child? I remember sitting and coloring in coloring books quite often. So I'm taking the mid color and just going around just to add a little depth and definition here. And I remember some of the kids in school, oh, they were such beautiful artists. They could draw the fuzz on a plant. Oh, I envied that so much. I think that's why I like stamping, because I'm not gifted with drawing ability, but I can stamp. And that should be just fine. And then I want to take a little bit of the green, and I think I'm just going to go with the mid-green color. I'm not going to try to do any blending on here for the little leaves. It's such a small space, it just doesn't pay to try to do that. But to throw just a hint of color in there, I think that makes it look a little nicer. And then for the flowers, got some orange. Well, I think I'll go with the mid on the orange too. Ooh, and that is quite vibrant. There's 3 little flowers here. There we go. Now what I want to do is I want to get these placed on here how I want them to be. Let's see here. I think we're going to go something like this. What I want to do is just figure out where I want them, and I'm going to do a little bit of font. Dropping stuff. Yikes. If you could see my room where I'm sitting and the disaster that it is, you would understand why things are being dropped. Okay. So just placing that approximately where I want it to be. And then I will set this right there. Remove the backing off of the other one, off of my cute little bee, and get him squared away. Right there. And the reason I'm doing that is I need to attach this. And this space behind where I have put my little images gives me a nice place to put my glue so that I can tack this down. And I'm just eyeballing it because this whole panel is is going to get put onto a card base. I had a piece of cardstock in my stash, and I made myself a top folding card. So I'm going to glue this to the top folding card base. And then I have one other little thing I'm going to do. I have some of our light gray ribbon. I like this ribbon. It's very pretty. It's sort of a gross grain ribbon. And I'm just going to tie a little knot at the top. Call it good. Ooh, not a good cut. Boy, some days I can cut that ribbon beautifully, and some days it looks like heck fire. And this one I did opposite. I put the dark at the bottom and the light at the top. I think either way works. Okay. I do have some longer scissors. Sometimes a longer pair of scissors give you a better, cleaner cut. And I think that is the case with this ribbon. Let's get that put away while I'm thinking about it. And there we go. Now, it needs a little something something. And the little something something is clear shimmer brush. These are fantastic. We have them in a lot of colors, but if you have a budget and you need to pick one, pick the clear one because it will go over the top of any color that you've got going on. I'm just adding a little bit of our clear shimmer brush right over the top of the bee, over the face, the body, and I'm gonna do it over the leaves and the little flowers. And it doesn't have to be super neat. You can just kind of hit the highlights. And then I take it and I just smack it right on the lid. And you get all of these cute little shimmery droplets all over. And I think it really brings it up a notch. So there we go. Cute little card. Card number 1 featuring Queen Bee stamp and thin cut set. If you need any of these supplies, I encourage you to visit barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com. I would appreciate your business, and I will see you next time.